Chapter 3, Mishnah 1. There are two stages in the dough-making process with regards to the challah obligation. The first stage is reached when the flour is mixed with water, as we will see in this Mishnah. Before that point, there is no requirement to separate challah, and the grain may be eaten without restrictions. Once that stage is reached, separating challah is effective, even though there is still no obligation to separate challah. In addition, after it has reached the first stage, due to rabbinic law that it may be eaten only in a casual manner, the dough may be eaten in that manner until the second stage, completion of processing, has been reached. The exact point will be defined in the Mishnah. Once the second stage is reached, the obligation to separate challah takes effect, and the dough is considered tevel, which may not be eaten in any manner. The Mishnah begins by defining when dough that has reached the first stage is considered to have reached the completion of processing, which is the second stage. We now turn to the words of the Mishnah. We may eat casually from a dough until it is completely kneaded in the case of wheat dough, or until it is packed together in the case of barley dough. However, once she has completed its kneading, in the case of wheat dough, or packed it together in the case of barley dough, one who eats from it without first separating challah is liable to death at the hands of heaven. Once the wheat dough is completely kneaded, or the barley dough is packed together, it is finished, and is thus subject to the challah obligation. Someone who eats dough that has been finished without first separating challah is liable to death at the hand of heaven. The Mishnah now identifies when the first stage is reached, and challah can be separated, even though the challah obligation has not yet taken effect. As soon as she puts the water into the flour in the kneading basin, she separates its challah even for the flour that did not yet mix with the water. As long as there are not 5 revaim of dry flour, the minimum amount that is subject to the challah obligation, remaining there in the kneading basin. That is, if the amount of flour that has not yet mixed with water is less than 5 revaim, the challah separation is effective not only for the flour that has already been mixed with water, but also for any unmixed flour in the kneading basin.